who is actually human at the end of The Thing? Both of the characters, or neither? And the nightmare alien has already won? John Carpenter hit a huge number of clues throughout the movie, and today I'll explain how this legendary ending is really meant to be understood, the biggest theories, the undeniable facts, and the true meaning behind this iconic finale, all in this video. Hi, this is 11 Slate, and The Thing ending explained. The Thing is destroyed, and only MacReady remains alive. And suddenly, Childs appears, played by actor Keith David in his first major film role. The survivors slowly freeze, satisfied with their feat and the salvation of mankind, or not. The ending of The Thing is one of the most discussed finales in cinema history. Millions of messages on forums and hundreds of video essays. If Childs survived, why does disturbing music start playing at this moment? And why does MacReady smile meaningfully? The viewers found a million confirmations for all sorts of theories. Both are human and heroically die, or both are infected and deliberately sat farther from the fire to freeze, and in that state get to the mainland. They celebrate victory over the polar researchers. There's also this. Childs is the Thing, and MacReady understood it, hence the bitter grin, realizing the fight isn't over. Or maybe the opposite. MacReady was infected from the very beginning, eliminating all the humans by a great bluff, and by destroying pieces of his own body like predators biting off a paw caught in a trap. And he passed the blood test easily. He set it up himself, meaning he could swap the blood. In the end, MacReady hands Childs a bottle with his saliva and infects the last survivor. Total success. There's also an answer to the torn clothing of Russell's character. It's not sabotage by the Thing, but real remnants of his outfit torn during assimilation. The theory is no worse than others. John Carpenter, like the rest of the crew, smiles meaningfully and offers different versions of the ending. And sometimes the director even contradicts himself. Once online, he answered that one of the survivors is definitely the Thing. He says the same in the Blu-ray commentary, only he doesn't remember which one. Sure, we believe that. So, in my view, the situation is this. Blair definitely assimilated Childs. Right here, he is guarding the door, and behind his back hangs a blue jacket, just like the one he wears. And then we see a long camera glide and the room is already empty, and that very jacket has vanished from the hanger. Notice how Dean Cundy, with only the image, tells the story of Childs' death. Blair was hiding underground. So first we see the door to the basement. From there, the Thing began its path to the unsuspecting character. On the right is a utility room. That's where the monster went in. Then a bit further. Here the utility door is open. The Thing crept up to Childs from behind, assimilated him, traditionally tearing his clothes, put on the blue parka to resemble the hero, and went to look for the survivors. And in the final dialogue, you can see at least two visual hints. Remember the eye glint of which viewers are hinted at who is infected? MacReady has a light in his eyes. Childs doesn't. If anything, these are the cinematographer's own words, so no guesswork. The next hint is breath vapor. MacReady is distinct, and Childs seems not to be breathing, though I'd skip that hint. First, Childs' vapor is noticeable at the start, and second, if the Thing could copy Norris's bad heart, then its lungs surely work too. Many look for meaning in the past bottle, as if MacReady understood everything in that moment. The first version, it's not whiskey but a bottle of gasoline left after burning the base. Childs didn't notice, therefore he's an alien. Though again, the Thing copies the victim down to every cell, so it surely adopts such little things as taste receptors, right? And Russell's hero was ready to take a sip, even before the colleague appeared. The second version, MacReady noticed that Childs calmly took the bottle from his hands, though earlier the polar researchers strictly refused close contacts. Sounds logical, but everything is much simpler. MacReady never stopped suspecting anyone. He doesn't need to give the alien gasoline to realize this. Childs' very first phrase sounds like,
"You the only one who made it?"
He doesn't view himself as a survivor. And a couple of lines later, MacReady and Thing Childs realizes pretending is pointless and start talking like an extraterrestrial species with a human. Just listen to these lines and imagine that the heroes know the whole truth about each other.
How will we make it?
Maybe we should. If we've got any surprises for each other.
This is a brief truce of two exhausted beings who put hostility on pause, but are waiting for a moment to continue the fight. I see this ending exactly that way. The Thing doesn't know how to behave with MacReady for one reason. Pay attention where Russell's hero lived. in a separate room away from the rest of the scientists, while the evil dog managed to study all the other expedition members under the ping pong table. MacReady is a riddle for the monster, its main opponent, and here the battle does not end. The on-screen alien did not copy one more of its features from the original. It cannot read minds and communicate telepathically, as it did in the novella. There, the creature was even more dangerous and could crawl into people's heads and also send prophetic dreams. Without such abilities, it cannot understand MacReady, but the most likely version of the finale is this. What difference does it make? The authors themselves don't know. And why should they? Open endings annoy the public, but they can become the cause of immortality for many pictures. The discussion of the Thing's ending is a very important moment of pop cultural analysis of a beloved film by the masses, like the ending of The Sopranos or the spinning top in Christopher Nolan's Inception. It's a subject for discussion, and that's already a plus for the picture. But the story of The Thing does not end there. Very soon the franchise takes a surprisingly unexpected turn for longtime fans. What exactly happens next? You can find out in the massive Ultimate History of the Thing video on my channel. The full video card is already on screen, so click it and enjoy the watch. This is 11 Slate.